Hey, everyone. Hi. Oh,
Hello,
wow.
hello,
We
everyone.
are live. We are on the CSS Show. And we have the lovely Cynthia McDonald and the lovely Afro Atheist. And Cynthia, we are going to, Afro Atheist and I are going to interview Cynthia on her deconvergent deconstruction. How are y'all doing? How you're doing? S.
Can I just say, finally,
Finally, oh yeah.
finally, can you imagine waiting for so long to sit with this beautiful lady?
It was home alone 2 weeks, 2 or 3.
Phil, what was the magic? What was the magic this time around?
I don't know. That's a good question.
You sure you didn't grow some hairs overnight?
Maybe I will have to get the magnifying glass and check.
Right.
By the way, S, I have it streaming to yours too, so you can get the persons come over.
I just noticed that. Well, guys.
Right. You know what we normally do.
Yeah, guys, we're streaming on Phil's channel, but I'm linked in, so it can bring you all over to Phil's channel. So I will put the link to Phil's. Please just click it and just
Hop
join
over.
me over there. Yeah. Click.
Yes.
Click.
Yes, Cynthia. Oh yeah. Oh, like and subscribe. Click.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's really great to have you here, Cynthia. How are you doing?
Oh, I am doing just dandy. The whole rescheduling thing is completely my fault. And also to, having a sick kid wasn't
Oh yeah.
So
No, it's understandable.
yeah. Here's the thing, Phil. I know you're supposed to be doing this whole thing, but I gotta kind of take my kid to the ER. So, but he's okay. He's fine.
Yeah. Wonderful.
This is the season, especially in the city of wind where I am. Cold season, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As you can relate, being all in the U of the K's of cold.
Oh yeah.
I've got my what's this thing called?
Sweater.
You got your
sweater.
It looks like a velvet hoodie.
It is velvety.
Yes.
So.
Yes, just to keep you warm.
When I have this on, I'm good.
Cool. I have mine on standby just in case if I need to run to my closet really quickly and grab my hoodie. I can definitely do that. Luckily, I made sure that I paid all the bills, including the power bill and the gas bill. So, and I made sure the furnace was fixed. So we're pretty good right now.
Oh wow. Yeah. But as you said, around this time, because a few weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago, I came down with bronchitis. And my sinus affect me. And every year around this time, I expect my sinus to affect me because it does. Yeah, and it's kind of coolish here. So.
Okay, so what's coolish in the island?
19 degrees Celsius, 21.
Okay, so
between 19 to 22.
You have to go Fahrenheit for me.
Okay, that is about 60, 70, yeah, 70, 75.
Oh my goodness, that's like the best weather ever.
I know.
I know, yeah.
I'm so jealous. Gosh, I just checked the temperature. I just checked the temperature here. It's that we're at 0 right now.
Ooh, 32 Fahrenheit.
That's 32 Fahrenheit. We have a warm front here. It's all of 42 degrees Fahrenheit.
So what's that in degrees?
About 5 degrees, roughly about 5 or so.
We're we're 0 at the moment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Mhm.
32 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Jeez.
hmm
Jeez. Crazy. Oh goodness.
yeah, but yeah, so Cynthia,
Yes.
um, will you say that you had a long deconstruction out of Christianity over the time? Can you start us off where you will have, yeah, um,
Yeah.
your
I
upbringing and so on, a little
yeah.
background?
Oh, sure, most definitely. Yeah, I think that I did. I went through all types of different inceptions of trying to find the truth, as
Mm-hmm.
best as I can think of it. I was raised. I said I told the story for a little while, but I think it kind of
Mm-hmm.
like gets a little bit more impacted as I tell it. But I was raised Episcopal
Okay,
Church,
yeah,
Anglican.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
and but I also went to Roman Catholic school, so I kind of got like the Anglican Roman Catholic treatment for the majority of my childhood, early, adolescence and things of that nature. Um, so the only thing is like the difference is, of course, like between the Anglican Church and the Catholic Church is like the mass is a little bit different between the two, and of course, like in the Anglican Church, priests can marry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not
Mm-hmm.
such a big emphasis on Mary, right? On in the Anglican Church or even like any type of Protestant church. So,
Yeah.
um, so it's like church was something that we did. It wasn't like something that was, um, and I noticed this differently when I was like when I became saved and part of more of like a non-denominational charismatic evangelical
Mm-hmm.
background. That like when going to church when I was a child was more like, okay, is this something that we did? It wasn't something that was like completely ingrained in everything that we do. And of course, like it wasn't this multiple night uh through the week that you attend some type of service. Like okay, you have to go to Bible study on this particular on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, or you have to attend some type of youth ministry or anything like that. No,
That's
you had
for a meeting.
yeah, exactly. Like and then you have those meetings on Saturdays and all this other stuff, and then don't forget choir rehearsal because choir rehearsal is
Oh,
important.
Oh,
oh, oh, oh.
If you miss choir rehearsal, it's your ass. But but no, I mean, but growing up, it was just more like we had like a shorter version of like the service or what have you. Services didn't
mm-hmm.
last more than like an hour, so it was coffee hour that was the longest thing. Coffee hour was like coffee 3 hours, to be honest, because that's when all the adults would get together and they would gossip and catch up throughout the week. And my mom was on the altar guild, so she had to make sure that
Mm-hmm.
um like the wine was put away, the sacraments as far as like
Chalices.
the chalices and all that
Mm-hmm.
other good stuff was put away,
Yeah.
cleaned, etc. Sometimes I would help her too. And then she would come down eating her donuts, and then she would gossip with everybody, and I would complain because I wanted to go home and watch cartoons, but she wasn't. And then at that time my grandmother was alive, and then I knew that my complaining had to be limited because grandma would hit first and ask questions later because that's how they
Oh
roll in
yeah.
old school Jamaica.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
that's
Here
that's
too.
how they roll in
Here
old
too.
school Caribbean. Phil, you know what I'm talking about, old school
Yeah.
Caribbean.
It's
I think that
Caribbean.
I think as you would know that
It's
as
you
well.
know that.
Old school,
Yeah. The
you know,
African sort
African,
of thinking. Yeah.
hit first, ask questions, and don't you
Oh,
cut
this
up the
is
church, it's your ass.
Mm, mm,
yeah.
mm, mm.
It's your ass. So don't even do it because God is
uh,
watching.
that's
He's
good. Okay,
he's
Cynthia,
watching.
before you continue, I
Yeah.
want to make a shout out to those who are in the live chat. We have D.
Hey,
Bordeaux,
G.
ID. Paul is here. Paul
Oh,
Chatler.
yeah. Hey.
You see Logan here as
Michaela.
well.
Hey,
Yeah,
Michaela.
Michaela. Yeah. Electric Can.
Hey,
Hi,
how you
Electric
doing,
Hey.
Can.
Electric?
I
Oh,
love, I
yes.
love, I love that name.
Mojo.
Electric
Oh
Cat.
yeah, I
Look
love
at him.
that. Electric.
Okay.
Hi Mojo.
Mojo.
Oh,
And him.
Rhonda is
Right.
here too.
Don't let me steal my
Rhonda.
mojo. Hey Rhonda, how you doing?
That's another nice one.
Logan. Hi Logan.
Logan is marking is like lurking. He said he's like in
And
the background.
Logan is part of a male contraceptive
Contraception
Yeah,
study at
study.
the moment.
It
Well, you
that
turns
keep
is
out,
studying.
lovely.
if you look
You
on his
keep
next, check his next comment. Check his next comment. The next one after that,
Where is it? The
where
one
he
after that, where he
it
says,
prevents
not
if you
yet
can
in
put,
pill form,
if you
but it
can
works.
pull it up. Oh,
says it prevents this one here. It
right.
prevents sperm
Oh,
capacitation, which is
which is
basically
basically
masturbation.
maturation.
Okay, well, we need that on the
Is
Go
market
that
from.
like
maturation or
I
masturbation?
think what I think he means no. It is maturation means that the sperm don't mature,
so
so
it
then they
can
will not be
so it
viable.
can yeah, it can it's not going to be able
It's not
to
going to
germinate
penetrate the egg,
an egg.
germinate the
I
egg.
apologize. I read that as masturbation. Sorry.
Ah,
Yeah, initially I had to look twice.
yes, this
I'm
is
so
not
sorry.
this is not that show.
Yes,
Okay,
don't be
we're
sorry.
on
Don't be
record.
sorry.
This is not that show. It's a
Yeah,
Logan.
as we know these things happen, I had to look twice too. Make sure I could read it correctly.
None
Yes,
of us
and you
have
have
Yeah.
all of us have
oh
all of us have our
Sister,
clothes on.
well
yes,
done, well done.
Teresa
Get your
and the That Real Nordic Black is here too. And
That's
Cynthia, I
it.
have to connect you with him because he wants you on his show
That's
Oh,
too.
it.
okay.
So
The
That
yeah,
man,
real
we'll
Nordic
talk.
flag.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
Not
yeah,
the
man.
fake.
yeah.
I will tell you, the real Nordic Black. Cynthia, I will tell you about him.
Okay.
You need, before you go on his show, make sure you take some energizer, right? Anything to give you some energy.
Oh my
The
gosh.
energy that man comes with, the energy he comes with, if you bring him on as a guest on your show, trust
Yeah.
me, you won't even know he is the guest. You think he's the host.
Correct.
His
Yeah.
energy just
Oh
radiates, just
yeah. Red.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
Okay.
Yeah.
So make sure
Mm-mm-mm.
that I have a Red Bull and coffee in tow,
That's
guys.
right.
Oh yeah.
A drink
Right.
is
Right.
needed.
This is fire.
Fire. Fire.
Fire. Yeah. So you were saying, yeah,
Yeah,
right.
don't cut up
Now
and
you
choke.
got
Grab
into
my
the they had the right you were
Sorry, sorry.
yes, go ahead.
Can everyone please click on the link in the top there to bring you over to Phil's chat. This is actually streaming
Hmm.
on Phil's, but of course I've got more followers on mine, and so just to try and bring more people over this way
Oh
to
yeah,
come and listen to the beautiful Cynthia. So please
Cynthia.
click, and I'm
Ooh.
gonna turn this off shortly. So
You're right. Yeah. So you said right as we established, you had no choice. You had to go to
Yeah.
church
Yeah.
because it was you will yeah you know how it is in the
Expected.
Caribbean and the Africa you get whooped if you don't
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah, it was expected. I mean, like, as much as like I didn't particularly care for it, but it was kind of like told to you, like, yeah, you going to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though like they didn't like put a big emphasis like on church in life as far as like how you lived, it was still part of your life. So you attended church.
mm-hmm.
And as I mean, it was kind of interesting, specifically when I was growing up. Like my sisters stopped going after a certain time period. So when they became
Yeah.
like closer to like young adults, especially like going towards like their college years, like they didn't go,
Mm-hmm.
but of course
Okay.
I was still like attend with my mom, and to be honest, like I went to church with her specifically until I graduated high school and right before I went to college. So
Okay.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was
So
part.
so you said the others that went to college they still believe?
Yes, they still, and to be honest, like even now, they still have a belief in church and belief in God, and they're still theists in how they like believe in and kind of like conduct their day-to-day lives. But because it's still like a Protestant type thing,
Yeah.
it wasn't as like it wasn't as deep or pervasive as far as like, oh, if I do this it's going to be a sin, or if I do that it's going to be a sin. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh. So right, so I was asking you when it got cut off. I didn't hear it because a phone call came through.
Yeah.
So I was asking you if when they even they went to college and stopped going to church, are they
Hmm.
still
Believers.
theists?
Yes, they are. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
everybody specifically in my immediate family, and also like in
Mm,
my extended family are still theists.
okay.
I,
Mm.
I for right now I'm the only heathen that's walking. Birds
So
are out.
I can understand.
are they non-denominational then?
Well, like my mom is still considered Episcopal Anglican. My sisters,
Mm-hmm.
because they were baptized in the Anglican Episcopal Church, they still consider themselves Episcopal, even though they don't necessarily go to church any longer.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
usually you find that happening even in the Caribbean. Even if some persons don't go, they're still theistic
Yeah.
because that kind of sticks with them.
Hmm.
And then what happens is sometimes eventually some evangelical thing preach and say, and then they say, "Oh, I have turned away from God. I need to get back into church." The usual stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. So right. So when you went into college, yeah, what happened there? But was that the start or beginning to get you know to be thinking different or
Uh,
part for Christianity or what?
well, when I went into college, I just kind of like doubled down, I would say, on the theistic leaning, because even though like we were kind of like those loose Protestants, by the time that I got to college, I
Mm-hmm.
joined a gospel choir, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone who happened in the gospel choir was majority, African American. So
Ah.
everybody came from some type of charismatic background, whether if it be a Baptist or a Church of God in
Mm-hmm.
Christ or
Mm-hmm.
Pentecostal or something to that effect. So that's kind of like the environment that I was in,
Mm-hmm.
specifically when we were, doing gospel music, and
Yeah.
even when we would go on tour, because sometimes like other cities and states and stuff like that will call our college choir to go out and invite us to sing at their churches and things of that nature. And they would be,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like those Church of God in Christ, Church of, Baptist churches, etc., that happen to be a bit more, I would call it Black American orthodoxy. That's the best way
Yeah.
to put it.
Yeah.
Because like how Black Americans like, will worship or like conduct church accordingly is very different in some cases, like,
Mm-hmm.
in white American churches. So that was the first time that I was exposed to that particular atmosphere for longer periods of time. And it was a culture shock to me because, I'm seeing folk like running around and falling out and speaking in tongue, glossolalia, which I didn't even know that word existed until I became an atheist. I was like, "Glossa what?" Glossolalia, basically, that's the scientific terminology, loosely scientific
Right.
terminology for speaking in tongues. And all this stuff was happening. I was just like, what in the world is going on right now?
So I have
Mm.
one question. Now you say glossolalia.
Can
Have you
I
ever
can I can
spoken
I
in glossolalia?
Oh
Yes, eh?
yeah. Oh
can I
yeah.
can I just say something really
Yeah.
quickly? I'm so sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. There was
No
a comment.
problem.
There was a comment in the chat by Trisha Starr. I
Oh
just wanted
yes.
to acknowledge that. Thanks for the
Mm-hmm.
laugh, guys. I've been real upset on live calls
Oh.
where a friend's hobby. I think
Of
I know what that
the
means, and
wow.
we
Of
start on
yeah.
manslaughter Trisha Star.
Oh man.
My heart goes out
This,
to you.
yeah, and I'm sending you an e hug.
Hug. Yeah.
An e hug.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just tune in with us, and hopefully we can put a smile on your face.
It's on your
Yeah.
face. Yeah.
If anything, like my deconversion
Definitely.
story is quite hilarious. So if you want to go ahead and tune in,
Yeah.
hopefully it offers you a little bit of levity in this very trying time.
Levity.
I do apologize that you're going through that right now, and yes, I
Mm-hmm.
definitely offer you all the hugs as much as possible. My condolences to your friend, and I really do hope that in the midst of everything that you all get justice, because that's what's more
Oh
important.
yes. Oh yes. Definitely. Right. So right, Cynthia, you were saying okay, you're in college, you joined this choir. Yeah, and did that bring you, is this one of the things that brought you into Christianity in a more serious
Yeah,
way?
I would definitely say that joining the gospel choir was the conduit in getting me in more in indoctrinated in the non-denominational Pentecostal-ish black-ish way, as far as like how I conducted myself in church. I remember specifically my first year of college, a lot of us, especially like if you go away to school and you're away from your family for a long period of time, you go through culture shock. Like I've said on other podcasts that I was used to a parent getting me together or getting me ready in some capacity to go to school, whether they waking me up,
Right.
directing to make sure I eat breakfast, make sure I take my lunch, make sure I do my homework, all that other great stuff. So when you're in college, like that's all you. And even though like I'm like, yes, I'm used to doing homework, yes, I'm used to doing term papers, but I always had that guise of like either my mom or my dad around me to make sure that stuff got done. Now it's me, and I felt that I was not really prepared mentally to absorb all that responsibility when it came to school. I mean, it happened later on, but I had to kind of like hit my head a few times in order for it to stick there. You have to study, you have to do your work, you have to do your all that stuff, attend
Oh
class,
yeah.
all that great stuff. So, it was difficult for me to make that adjustment. And of course I was missing home a lot. I remember calling home a lot, and to my parents was like, just quit calling home so goddamn much. And like I'm like, but I miss you guys. And they say, yeah, we miss you too. But again, nobody trying to pay those bills, because at that time, no like cell phone unlimited plan, like if you call from the dorm, you call through their long distance service carriers, and more than likely your parents will pay for that. And if they got the bill and they see that you call so daggone much and they had to pay for that, that's when they told me don't call so much, right? So because they're looking at the bottom line, and I get it, but still, that was like hurtful. So I was told by various members of the choir, by the minister of the church that we were going to at that time, because like one of the obligations of singing at the gospel choir is that we had to sing for Sunday services, and Sunday services didn't start till 3 p.m. And the reason being, yeah, well, because college students are not getting up early to go to church.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
We out partying,
Partying the night before.
yeah, doing all types of mockery. You know what I'm saying? Then we get up and thank Jesus in the morning. That's how we go. That's how we do. So, to kind of shake off all those what you did last night and then bring it back into the church, and on Sundays, like we had a later service. So, and also too, like when it came to like that party life in college, it really didn't suit me. That's not really me per se, like and I've noticed like even more so that I'm more of a homebody. Like I prefer to be at home. My like if I have time to myself, I'd rather read a book, you know what I'm saying, like, and drink my wine. That's just kind of how like I roll right now. But even at that particular time, like I would go to the parties and stuff like that, but it really wasn't appealing to me. I only went because like my friends went, right? So, so like while we were in church or whatever, like, the pitch of turning your life over to Jesus because you're going through some things right now and you need him to come and help you with X, Y, and Z was appealing to me. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll get saved, right? And but the thing about it is that like when I got saved, like at first like it was like a confusing period. And then I ended up going to another church after I transferred from one college to another, and the other church was non-denominational. Came out of the Church of God in Christ model, let's put it that way. And so they were really based on holiness and all that great stuff. So it was more restrictive as far as like yourself, right? And because of that, I kind of like doubled down on Christian rhetoric and being Christian and all that stuff. I turned into an asshole. A Christian asshole is the best way that I can put it.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Come on here.
Yeah,
Come on, now you see me.
Did you go out? Did you go out on the streets to evangelize?
Yes, I did.
How many souls did you win?
Oh, that's a good question. For a minute there, I was winning souls left and right. I had like a whole cohort before I transferred, because I started going to the church that I was part of in from the other school. Before I started attending the other school. So I had like a whole cohort of people from my previous school that, I would talk to Jesus about. And some of them were kind of the lukewarm people that you would like, imbue with the fire and brimstone of the Holy Spirit. And, and to the point where like, and like even helping conducting Bible studies on my campus and all this other great stuff. I even was part of like a Christian sorority where we, did stuff. And then like when I transferred to go to the other school and I was closer to the church I was part of, like, I started to, yes, Star Trek should draw you. Live on the as well. But like those are the different things that like I start to even double triple down on, making sure that like we go out and we like preach to people, we minister to folks, pray for them on the street. I even had like a few opportunities like during those like Bible studies at college that I would like cast out demons. At least I thought I was. I was doing all kinds of shit that
I would give anything to see that, Cynthia. Can you imagine?
No, she can I'm not in any way, shape, or form looking forward or wanting her to come back. Let her stay where her ass is.
Let her stay in the past.
Hell yeah. Like, no, I'm trying to put your ass no more.
Hey dog. Hi Jerwalk. Hi dog. Yeah.
Well, everyone, if you're in my chat, please, I'm going to put the link to Phil's channel. This is being streamed on Phil's channel, but of course, just so you know that it's being streamed on Phil's channel. That's why it's streamed on mine, but I'm closing mine down. So join us over there. I'm going to put the link in there, and please make sure to just click the link and let's get on there. There we go. Click that link and meet me over at Phil's, and this would be closed out shortly.
Indeed. Come on over, y'all.
Yeah. Come over. Clearly, as she's doing the she was casting out the demons before. That's probably what she used to do. This.
Receive it.
Receive it.
Receive it. In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
But it's amazing, Cynthia, how, and I know how charismatic sort of thing capture a lot of persons, and it's because of the hype it creates and so on, and especially in college, when you're alone and they really catch you. And you said you were part of a organization, almost like a Christian organization in college. Yeah, I was part of that too here. So I know how that goes, and they do capture